In this episode, we are going to address the importance of talking to your family about estate planning, understanding that there are a potentially infinite number of factors that affect family dynamic, and whether you have this conversation or how you approach this conversation is entirely up to you. But assuming that you have a relatively healthy family dynamic and that your intentions are pure, having this conversation can be invaluable. I recently watched a video on YouTube where Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger are asked a question about how they think about estate planning. And the response, particularly from Warren Buffett, I felt was very insightful. In the video, Warren Buffett says, "In my family, I do not sign a will until my 3 children have read it, understand it, and made suggestions. If the children are grown and when the will is read, it's the first they've heard about what the decedent thought about things, the parents have made a terrible mistake." Now, he goes on to talk about his kids being in their 60s, and this approach probably wouldn't work or wouldn't have worked the same if they were in their 20s. And that's true. Every family is different, and every family dynamic is different. So how you approach this conversation from family to family or from family member to family member can change. And so finding the right fit for your family is important, but don't avoid the conversation just because it might be uncomfortable. Having the conversation can have tremendous benefits. Having the conversation can prevent World War III from happening after you've died. Unfortunately, there are a lot of examples of family structures that completely break down after someone has died, to the point where the family members don't ever talk to each other again. And often this stems from a disagreement or a lack of understanding about the decedent's intentions. Another benefit is that having the open dialogue and conversation sets up your chosen fiduciaries for success. So these are the people that you've identified and chosen to step in and manage things for you in the event that you become incapacitated or after you've died. So giving them, first of all, an understanding about how you think about things, maybe how they can access your accounts, what types of decisions that you would like them to make. These conversations will set them up to be able to perform much more effectively when the time comes for them to step in and manage things for you. Perhaps most importantly, having these conversations can significantly increase the likelihood that your family will have a meaningful experience of your passing. There are 2 distinct images that come to mind when I think about this idea. The first image is a family who's gathered around a loved one as he is actively dying, not knowing what types of medical decisions he would want, not knowing how to comfort the person, not knowing whether he has pre-planned his funeral or what his burial wishes are, not knowing what bills might be coming in or how to step in and manage the estate after he's died, not knowing what assets are available or how to access them in order to pay the bills, in order to pay the taxes, in order to administer the estate. And so this is a situation that is already difficult, that is made much more challenging because of doubt and uncertainty. The second image is a family who's gathered around their loved one as he is actively dying. And this is a family who's had these conversations in advance. So they know exactly what types of medical treatment this person would want. They know how to comfort this person. And they can be totally present with their loved one as they're dying. And they can have a much greater chance of experiencing their loved one's transformation from this world in a meaningful way. Now, I understand that these conversations are difficult. They're things that people don't really like to talk about. They're things that people don't really like to think about. But I hope that this episode paints a picture for how meaningful, how beneficial these conversations can be when they're approached in the right way. So I hope that you find this information helpful. And if you do like this content, please let me know, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode.